A very warm welcome to the Centre of Excellence in Healthcare Education here in Stafford. My name is Mike Phillips. I'm the Associate Dean for Recruitment here in the school, and today we're going to give you a whiz around the campus and give you a little taster of everything that we've got on offer. So follow me and we'll start with our library. So this is our information point here in what's sometimes called Blackheath Lane, but the Centre of Excellence in Healthcare Education. And this is where you'll start your journey when you arrive with us. And this leads straight into our dedicated health library, which is open 7 days a week from 6 in the morning until midnight. And there's everything that you need here in order to help you with your studies, including staff that will support you in that. And we'll just have a little wander around the library and show you what's on offer. So we've got lots of dedicated group study areas, some private areas where you can go and access the computers in a different way, and then some dedicated breakout spaces where you can work in much bigger groups with access to all of the IT systems that you need. So this is our student training unit, which is a dedicated and fully equipped real-life ambulance paramedic unit, which means that our students can get to grip with what it feels like to be on four wheels and practicing all of the important skills that they'll be learning here at the Centre of Excellence. So you'll already have seen our paramedic ambulance, but in addition, in terms of facilities for our paramedic students, this is one of 3 of our skills labs or simulation environments where our students get the opportunity to practice again in real world conditions with lifelike mannequins and equipment that they'll be using when they're out there in their practice learning placements. So this is Dudley's. As you can see, it's set out at the moment for COVID safety. Normally this would be populated with tables and chairs and would be a really thriving place, great environment to be coming relaxing in for a while, have your lunch, have your breakfast, whatever it might be. Obviously at the moment things are really quiet because of the way we're having to work with our blended working approach, but as soon as we're back on campus, this will be thriving, and it will also build into another exciting development that I'll be telling you about shortly, which is our Centre for Health Innovation. So this morning we've got Joe and Michelle and Yvonne here, who are looking after not so many people today because it's so quiet, but this is where you can get your meals on a daily basis, dedicated coffee bar, and you'll just get a clue out of the window of one of the developments that I've just mentioned as well, but we'll talk about that shortly. So out of Dudley's comes into a space which will be completely redeveloped by autumn of this year, that's 2021, because out here you might just be able to get a sense of the fact that there's a major building project underway. This will be our Centre for Health Innovation, which opens in the autumn of this year, and part of that will be a very unique and state-of-the-art simulation-based education facility where all of our health and social care students will be able to learn in their groups and together in real-life state-of-the-art simulation facilities using immersive technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, and simulated physical spaces which can represent those clinical environments that you'll all be working with. So we're really excited for the opening of this development. It doesn't look now as though it's very developed, but a huge amount of work has already happened and we are completely on track to open in autumn. So we're now directly above Dudley's where we've just got our coffee, and this is another one of the student social spaces, and this is a really versatile space. As you can see, TVs on the walls, table tennis, table football, places for people to work if they choose to, and then a kitchen area for people to be able to make their own lunch or make tea and coffee. This is often a really thriving and vibrant space where students come together and meet outside of their normal course areas, and it's a great opportunity to socialise or relax or do a bit of work. So we're now on the first floor of the Centre of Excellence, and this is where the majority of our teaching facilities are. And as I've said before, we're working in a COVID secure way at the moment, so groups are much smaller, spaced out with COVID secure measures. So for example, this is one of our skills labs where some of our teams are just starting a session which I'm now disturbing, but as you can see, everything's well spaced, safe, secure, personal protective equipment, and this is the way that we're working in general. So this is another area, which again has been laid out in that way today. Obviously teaching people things about venipuncture and taking blood, but also you can see that dotted around all of these areas are bits of equipment which relate to our simulation-based education work that we do here, and which we've invested a lot of time and effort in developing. So if I take you down the rest of the corridor, you'll see that some other examples of these kind of teaching spaces, some of which we've had to convert very quickly to be able to allow the teaching in smaller groups that needs to happen under COVID secure rules. So this is one of my colleagues here who's all ready for some kind of teaching session today, clearly. But this is one of our real world mannequins who is obviously alive, and we've got evidence of that here by virtue of the fact he's connected to our monitoring equipment. There's also some equipment which doesn't necessarily live here, but again through COVID secure rules we've had to relocate it. So real life anaesthetic machine which our operating department practitioner students use, and clearly they're doing some kind of scenario in here probably later today around that. So follow me down to the nursing skills labs. So this is set up today for our child nursing students with our paediatric mannequins and neonatal mannequins, and then through into the neighbouring suite, obviously set up today for a more adult orientated session with two more of our friends here in hospital beds. It's really important to us that we deliver facilities that are like those that will be experienced by you in clinical practice, and that includes the equipment, the furniture, the space, and as near to real life patients as we can get for you. Okay, we're now in our simulated operating theatre, which is largely in use for our operating department practitioner students who can come in here and simulate all of the roles and all of the applications of the operating theatre as part of their course, including our audio visual observation and recording equipment, real-world anaesthetic machines, operating tables, and everything you'd expect to find in that environment. So finally for now, this is another one of our clinical skills labs, and this time this is predominantly used by our midwifery students, but also working in that interprofessional way with our paramedic students, our operating department practice students and others. This is where you will use pieces of equipment like this, which is Luciana, who is our birthing mannequin, as well as all of that functionality that you'll see later on in some of the other skills areas, also capable of delivering what I call a real life baby, but which is obviously a simulated baby, but one which when it comes out has a heartbeat, will breathe, and then moving that along a step to other pieces of equipment and simulated real world stuff which represents clinical practice as well. So that is just a glimpse of some of the facilities we've got available here at the Centre of Excellence in Healthcare Education in Stafford. I hope you found that mini tour really useful, but if there's anything else that you want to know from us, then please do get in touch on social media. I'd really encourage you to book on to one of our future open days so that you can see even more and get to talk with some of our academics and some of our existing students. But for now, it's been really great to show you around, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.